Hi, all that, everything. I don't even know if things work. Not good. I have seen better days. It's not that good today. Kinda sad. I'm alive, it seems. Yes.
Prismatic Queen is now following.
Prismatic, hi. Well, go on in. How are you? Who are you? How do you, how, why now? But, yeah. Hi. Well, go on in. Gothic, hi. Hugo, hi. I'm gonna explain that in a second. So, thing happens. Am I on the right screen? I am on the right screen. Everything is fine. Gothic, I hope you're good. Cat was the first, yes. So that happens. Basically, one of the company that I've been interviewing with for the past month and a half, kind of thing. One of the other ones that I was kind of interested in. Today sent me like a message saying, thank you for applying. We've screened your resume, but you don't pass the resume, the CV screening, which is weird because I had already passed. Also, Larkham, hi. And so it's weird. That's the first thing. It is weird. And the second thing that is kind of weird is that the secondary interview that I already did with the second person that was like a hiring manager type of person, at the end just said, just to be clear, you pass this stage. We want you to go through the next step. Like, I want you to go to the next step. Though the person that is supposed to take care of the next step is on vacation until the end of the month, so I might send you a message later, right, to put that in place. But then I received that message today, which is weird because I did apply for that position, but the position that I'm applying for is the same. I think I talked about that in the past. They had like they have a senior product designer and a product designer job, so there is both. So maybe that email was for the senior product designer. I mean, that's what it was, but the interview that I had was for the regular. I don't know, but during the interview he said it would be interesting to put you in the senior position based on your experience. So I don't fucking know where we are, so I'm kind of sad. I wished this one would go well, but yeah, I don't know. So I sent a message. Yeah, the hair is not fluffy. The hair is fluffy on Fridays. But yeah, it's kind of weird. So I sent a message to the hiring manager that I had a chat with. I just said, "Hi, uh, just weird. Good job on the streak." I didn't say that, but I did say that. I just received an email from the CV screening team saying that I don't pass, which is weird because when we talked, we said that we would move to the next step, and I just want some clarification on that and where we are. And I sent that this morning when I received the email, and I haven't received any response yet, though it's a company in Japan, so time zone. That makes sense. So if I have an answer tomorrow, then maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. The thing is, again, from that specific person, I sent them like a message after the first interview that we had together, saying thank you for your time. It was really cool to have like a discussion and all that. And I didn't have like an answer to that message, which I understand because it is like a automated courtesy type of message, but I don't know. You might make it, you know? Yeah. God damn. That is what I call center. Holy shit. Wow. I am impressed. Holy fuck. I just saw the thing. Good job. Um, so yeah, other than that, yeah, it's, apparently it is. Yeah, apparently it is. When you cross your fingers and you are positive, you get 95.48, which is crazy. Uh, And yeah, other than that, the day has been okay. I have tried to figure out some stuff on the app and I failed, and then I tried again and I failed again, and then I tried something else and I achieved something. But overall, most of the things that I'm trying to do right now are basically at the limit of what the AI can help me with. I feel like I've been hurting, not hurting, but like encountering walls after walls after walls after walls when I'm building this thing, because it's mostly the app itself has become too complex for the AI to have the greater understanding of everything that goes on. So every time I'm like, we need to do something that touch these 15 files differently, and it's like, yeah, we can do that, and then it renames something that breaks all of the other 22 files, and it's just a mess. So eh, I don't like it. But on the good thing that happens if this works, I don't know. Yes, it works. I now have added this, which is nothing, but it is something, right? It's a neat transition in the beginning of the app. Splash screen was necessary, and now it just take the time to load the content in the background, and we have that neat transition. That is that is pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, the rest is the exact same. I did something here with the dictionaries to let me just start it again. This is a transition question. It's just blank, and it's a very simple transition. You just have the gradients sliding up. Nothing happened. It's not that crazy, but it is something. But yeah, in the dictionary now we have like specifics dictionaries, as I was saying earlier, and they are basically fucked again, because you know everything is fucked. But the first one is an achieved dictionary, and then the other three that are underneath, design 1000 and 2000s, are unlocked but not fully done. And so now when you tap on the card, it basically opens the last available chunk of that dictionary, which then gives you this. And now it's openable and you can see everything else, which I think is bad. And I can't figure out how to have the chevron thing on the right side to be expendable at all times. For some reason, now that I have added this non-expendable thing expendable, it's just disappear. And it only pops in if I'm tapping on the card, and then it's there, and then I can expend it, and it's just it's just annoying. So yeah, other than that, nothing much have changed in the app. Most of the things are the same. It works the same way. The tab bar is working. I did change the badges. I did. I did. I changed the badges. They are now a bit more um, subtle and light in color rather than what we used to have. And specifically, this one is more pink-ish. But yeah, that's the only thing. One of the things that I did that I kind of like is this. It's still not done, but it's this. If I change the theme and I reopen, oh well, I didn't. Hi, we'll go on it. And I reopen the app, the transition now takes the theme color. The app itself, the icon cannot change right now. for now. Later, we'll see. But at least we have a transition that makes sense where the gradient is the gradient that the person will see afterward. So that transition of just sliding in from the bottom to the top makes sense. So yeah, that's I guess that's about it. That's about it. I did that um better. That's a big ass zoom. Um I saw that with a delay. God damn. But yeah, this thing is now better. I think I'm not sure. I think the conjugation are good. I think it's a bit weird. And it's also like kind of complicated to grasp and enter and all of that. The irregular verbs were the things that were pissing me off the most. And basically, what happened is for ikke right there, it's not ik ita, it's ita, and right now it's kind of false. It's still good. It's still better. There is a small tsu and everything, so that's okay. But annoying. And in the kuru, which is the other one that we use as a reference, kuru is an irregular verb. Basically, I don't think you will be able to see that from where you are. I don't think I can zoom in much. I should just open the app on Xcode. That's what I should do. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I am gonna do just that. Um, so let's get rid of this and let's get rid of that. Cool. So in here, now that you have access to this, let's let the thing charge or load. We have a song in 6th grade in English class. Irregular verbs, irregular verbs, irregular verbs cannot get on my nerves. Irregular verbs can't make me get the blues like Smurfs. That is interesting. I have never heard that, but all right. As I just said, the references for kuru right there is the base. And what I did on this is that kanji right here, the first one, is pronounced ku in most situation, but in some situation it changed into ki. And so I needed to have like a reading change and choice for conjugation. So yeah, it's ku, ko, ka. It's just a mess, but it's the same character. It's always the same character. So it's a bit of a mess, but it you know what? It works. That's all that matters to me. It needs to happen, and we're good with that. So this is pretty good. But now that section for suru, which is one of the bottom ones here, which is another irregular verbs. This is the same thing. Basically, this verb doesn't have kanjis. It's just su and ru as hiragana and kana character. But sometimes it turns into shi. And so it's like shimas, shinai, shimasen, and all of that. And then sometimes it's de, and sometimes it's su, and sometimes it's sa. Ah! So I figured that out. That's a good news. That is a pretty good news. Overall, I'm really happy with achieving this finally. This took the past 3 weeks of thinking, and yeah, it's basically just ifs And ifs makes no sense, but it's basically just ifs. You probably won't understand what it is if you are not someone who codes, but basically you have a switch case, which is in different cases things happen, and based on the cases, you have a different particle in the front, which makes sense. And I just didn't know that this was a thing with multiple options. So in the beginning, I did something that is similar to what I have right there. And that's bad. So yeah, needed to do that. I need to fix that still, because it's better than before, but it's still bad. And now we have most of the things. It works, and I'm happy with it. I feel like, and that might be like a me thing. I feel like I reached the point where we are in the good enough space for someone that is just learning to get the app and use it, and for me to just release that on the store for real. That's the thing. But yeah, I'm unsure. At that instant, I am unsure. But we'll see. It's probably gonna happen soon. Like it's starting to be at the point where I'm like, all of the new IDs that I have are entirely changing the behavior of the app, and I don't want that. Not now. I mean, later, yes, but now, no. So that's the thing. But you have most of the. I mean, if you are someone who is interested in learning Japanese, I still haven't done that. But you would have access to most of the basics of characters and some conjugations. I have a feeling right now that this is not enough, and I'm probably wrong. But yeah, you have quizzes, which gives you like a bit of a space repetition thing, and if you make a mistake, it just tells you that you made a mistake and what was the right answer for this thing, so that you can kind of memorize it. I should have done like quizzes of 5 instead of quizzes of 25 for the preview and presentation, as always. But it's just like, if I make mistakes, I'm gonna make plenty of mistakes. Shit, that was right. Well, I didn't make plenty of mistake. If you make some mistake, you have like a bit of a recap at the end, tell you, well, that character was this, so you can have like a bit of a hint, which is good. But yeah, it's starting to be at the point where I have too much knowledge on this thing, and I am basically speedrunning the app. So I have the ability to speedrun stuff, and therefore it's bad. I'm seeing things that I shouldn't see, and I'm sure that people that are using the app for learning purposes as a beginner wouldn't see anything that I'm personally seeing. So I don't know yet. Yeah, that's where we are. It's kind of bad, and the app works, which I think is gonna be enough, isn't it? Enough is pretty good. Someone said, I don't know if you are someone who learns Japanese again. Someone said maybe it would be interesting to have like a table, so something similar to what we have here, basically. Something that would help the user to grasp how the conjugation system works in Japanese. And even though this is good, I personally think that this is like complex. I don't know. How do you, has someone that is from an external point of view, what do you think? Can you understand this? Is this a thing that makes sense to you? I'm not really zooming in much, I know, but does that, yeah, does that make any sense? I'm sure it doesn't. Which is sad. But yeah, you have this with the go done verbs and the each done verbs that are here. So it's kind of, you need to take the whole view to understand how things work and how you change the system, but it's the exact same addition at the end. So for these ones, for example, you go into the E column. So ichi, ri, ni, mi, bi, ki, gi, si. And then you add tai, tagaru, all that. And for the other one, it's just you go into the E or the E, and it depends. That's about it. So, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of good to have an overview. That's the word, an overview of the conjugation. But I do feel like this is a more fun experience. It might be like the how is fun understood as fuck? That makes no sense. It's it's yeah. To me, it's a more fun experience to just scroll the wheel. But maybe this is too far away. I don't know. I don't know. But again, I really feel like I'm at the limit of my ability to be subjective here because I've been on it for so long. It's just too much. It's a lot. Specifically when I'm like on Pinterest and I'm looking at things and I have like IDs or references, design references, so much things that are so cool and so good and could be implemented so well in the app, design wise, interaction wise, all of that. So, I don't know. I feel really stuck and unstuck at the same time, which is really bad. Like I have too many IDs and not enough knowledge, and the ID that I have and the kind of references that I take, I don't know how to make them. So yeah, I might need to just stop working on the app and work on the landing page because that's the thing that needs to happen at some point, right? We need a marketing landing page to work with it. And I've been kind of, how can I say that? Yes, not drinking enough. That is a fair point. I've been kind of seeing things. Meng did something or shared something. You probably have seen that as well. But in the references, let's go back. Let's find the reference. Someone else, which is the creator of, or like this one was for you. Dapshi, hi. The creator of Design Code, which is this person, has created this landing page. So this whole thing right here, this whole app is an AI-powered video editing recording software, which is already what I use, which is called Screen Studio, but this one is a different one. It's basically a copy of Screen Studio, shamelessly ripped off, but the entirety of it has been built using Cursor and Claude. And this landing page is kind of crazy to me. It's just so good. Everything is subtle. You have everything that works in the page. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's just good. Like this entire thing here, this is crazy. Like the fact that you can select or highlight or hover like a specific key on that keyboard and it highlights which specific shortcuts are available. Not that it's complex to do, but just having to think about it and be like, oh, you know what? I'm sure we can do that, yeah. And then figuring it out and putting it in there. So that whole thing is so good. Everything works. It, I'm impressed. That's all I'm gonna say. I am impressed. I've been impressed for 2 days on this thing because it is that good. And again, this is Meng, so Meng is a good designer overall, has a lot of code experience, and now with this AI integration, because they have the knowledge of code, they have the ability to pump out stuff that makes sense. Did yeah, all of that landing page is just so good. That before I saw this, I already had the idea of getting the app itself for me visually available on mobile, because the content of like hiragana and katakana is extremely small, and that could be really hosted. If you launch the app on mobile, you could have access to these base, and then if you go into, I don't know, kanji or radicals or something, it just gives you a link to download the app. That could be a thing. It's kind of weird as a concept, but it could work. I don't know yet. And you could just practice your hiragana and katakana online for free. I don't know. I don't know. But it's just this entire thing. No, not really. I don't have early access. I also didn't request it because I don't know if I need it. And also, I don't want to like it more than Screen Studio. I'm kind of unsure about the limitation on the free plan. So I'm like, eh. It seems like it's a free plan to basically get users, and that's it. And you get your users, and then you then push them into 14. It's not really how much I would love it. It's mostly like how much I would need to go on a monthly plan. Because if I like it and it's good, and the AI features and reach ups and all of that are so good, I would need to go into 14 per month plan, which is basically going to give me 200-ish. Yeah, $180 to pay for 1 year to get that price if I was on the monthly instead of the yearly. That's the thing. And I'm already paying for so many AI stuff that I don't want to pay for this. Whereas Screen Studio is, I think, 50 or $80, and that's it. And you get all the updates until they decide to say, oh, that new update is so big, we need like a new pricing model for the next release. But it's a one-time payment, which I prefer. Whereas here, for the amount of video recording that I would do, I think it's not valuable enough. So yeah, I might just do that so that we have that. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe you know. Ah shit, we need to verify emails now. Done. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It's just mm, mm. It's impressive. That's all I'm gonna say. It is an impressive thing. I also really have a hard time with the level of duplicate that it is. When you look at the interface of Screen Studio compared to the interface of Dreamcut, it is almost a one-to-one copy for, I mean, specifically when Ming started to talk about it on Twitter, it was really much a one-to-one copy. Like this interface right here of multi-track is something that I think Adam is trying to put in place. This overall interface here is a skin of Screen Studio to me, with the glass morphism and all of that. And like this entire thing is really, to me, the same. As in, that's Screen Studio, right? So you have your video on the side, that makes sense. You have your multi-track recording at the bottom with the effects and all the things that you need, and your Canva details on the right side. And then on Dreamcut, it's, on Dreamcut here, you have the exact same layout with the exact buttons, or the exact same buttons in the same place. And I don't know exactly how I feel about that. It's not stealing, but it's kind of stealing situation. So yeah, I don't entirely know how I ethically feel about it. It's okay, and it does the exact same thing, but it's just I don't know. See, so that yeah, I've been rambling on the same exact point for the past 15 minutes. That makes no sense. I don't know if we will have like a comparison at some point. That's all I'm saying. Anywho, on this specific thing that was really impressive, but also like the landing page is really good. So that's the thing that I wanted to take a look at. And then for you, Larkham, I had this that was really impressive again. This is a single bitch, a single ID from an artist. And I feel like for you who wanted to draw and get better, this is a pretty impressive concept and exercise to do. So not necessarily just doing the exact same thing, but like a similar concept of transforming a simple 3D shape into multiple things by just adding a layer. And so you can easily do that with Procreate instead of doing that physically. But I really feel like as a learning experience, for you can just add a new layer, like you create like a box or something, and then on Procreate you add a layer, you draw on top, and then you remove that layer, add a new layer, do the same exercise with something different. And that might be interesting. So yeah, I saw that was pretty cool. And then there was someone else that said something really cool, and that was on TikTok, in between the asses. So I'm gonna save my ass on this one. I think I liked it. I forgot if I did. There has been a lot of cheeks today. Yeah, right there. So this one is also pretty cool. He speaks a lot, and it's not necessarily the type of voice that I like. Nonetheless, his video here is mostly for breaking down faces and profiles, like face from the front and profiles from the side. I will send you the link in a second. But the method is pretty good. That is some of the things that we learn when I went through the learning experience of drawing faces and peoples. And so this box model, same thing. You divide the thing into basically three, then you create the nose and you add your chins and you're pretty good. And this entire video kind of explained quickly how to get a face going in no time. So I really like that. It's helpful if you are into that kind of learning. And it also goes into the side profiles, which is basically dividing into third instead of 4 blocks. You have 3 blocks. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. The last point that he has is mostly for the 2/3 rotation, which is my camera angle right there. It's the same thing, but you kind of need to have the 3D thing done. You know, the thing that I said last month, 2 months ago, about drawing boxes, like 3D boxes and square and cubes and things, to kind of get the volumetric way that a face or head is. So the 3/4 turn is more advanced, I would say, than the regular side profile and front facing things. But it was pretty interesting, and they do have like a ton of teeny tiny not tutorials but like helps, and I would highly recommend you to take a look at their profile. If you're on TikTok, if you're not on TikTok, go into their TikTok profile and they probably have a link to either their course or their Instagram or something else if you're on other platforms. But yeah, and good mustache, man, always help. Always helps. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, you know what, that's pretty neat. And there is another one that I kind of saved, though this one it's been a fat ass week now, so I probably have lost the like unless I put it there. I liked it straight away. Much better, so much better. This one is for rigidity and movement in the drawings, and I kind of like this creator. They are doing a ton of fun voices and fun poses and fun stuff, so I do like to share this as well, because it's not that bad. It's mostly good. I would say it might be a tad more experienced levels, but the way that they explain things and the way that they like help you grasp the concept of dividing elements into boxes, but also shapes, but also like weird ass flow, it's pretty good. So yeah, take a look at the profile. Same thing, they have a ton of really cool things. And they had this one that I saw like last week. That is about HB. HB pencils and how the graphite works. What is good, what is not good. More than Flora. Oh, well, Colin. Giving up on job search, I guess. Again, I kind of gave up already, but like I received I had like good interviews with the company, and the hiring person told me 2 weeks ago that I passed his stage, so I would go into the next one. And today I received an email saying your CV screening didn't pass, so thank you for applying, but we're not going to move forward, which is weird because I already passed before. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, so I'm kind of giving up on this one. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. You said something about the wedding invites earlier, and I didn't. I don't think you said much. You said didn't say something about the wedding invites, and then you didn't say shit about the wedding invites. What you need to say? What do you need to say? It's not really that I'm getting. I mean, this one is kind of weird for me. It's the process of the first guy contacted me on LinkedIn. I almost said no, because it was like an email type of thing, and I said, you know what, let's try it out. And so I said yes, and it was weird as an experience, but it was okay. And then they said, basically, this meeting is a checkup kind of meeting just to ensure that everything goes through, but it like on your side and on my side, but you will go into the next step. Like it has been decided before we do this call of checkup, unless something really horrendous happened in that meeting, you are ensured to move on to the next step. So I was kind of going with that. It'd be good. And that happened. And I moved into the next step, which was with the hiring manager number one. And during that meeting, we had a really good chat. And they had, at the end, they said, based on all of the thing that we said, you are moving on to the next step. Though the person is on vacation, therefore, yeah, we need to wait a bit, like maybe 2 weeks, which is basically today. And today I received the thing of my resume was rejected by the screening, which is wrong because it already has passed. So I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. It is really weird. This one is really weird. The other one that I had, which was like, as I said last week or on Monday, really far away from here, like really 2 minute walk from here, far away. They said no because I didn't have a good communication or enough good communication based on their feeling during the meeting that we had, which to me is weird. Like it just makes no sense. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Cat, I think you need to change computer. I like that green. Yes, I agree. I agree. It's one of the cotton ones from the same brand. I have like a discount code on Discord if you're interested in that. Not that it matters, but you know. And it is your PC. It's pretty good. It's one of these. It's one of these gym-related t-shirts, so it's tight-ish on the arms and the top, but then on the midsection it's kind of flowy, so it doesn't. If you don't have abs yet, you're good. It's pretty good. I like it. I like him a lot. He helped me zoom out and think outside of the box, so I came up with something they absolutely adore. That is good news indeed. Yes. Eh. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I'm judging any Parisian anyways. So, like, I'm that, yeah. I get it. But we are in the same realm because I'm also Algerian turned Parisian-ish. Kinda. I mean, I live in Paris, so technically Parisian. Mentally, still no. So yeah. So that's what I'm giving up of. Giving up on. Laura, kinda. And Kat, you can either say no, it's not your computer. Maybe it is. Maybe it's your install of Windows. And maybe it is just a cam link that needs a change. You don't want like you want one of mine? I think you may be or may have like a better experience with the other one. I mean, that is so vague. Uh, if you had the capture inside. Maybe that would be good. Like if that's all right, is it this one or is it this one? Because this one is better. It's also more expensive, but this one is better. I like this one a lot because it's mostly working for me as someone that works on a Mac and streamed from a PC. Like it's so much better because you have 4 inputs. You basically have your camera, your Mac, your console. Like if you have a Nintendo Switch, you can plug it in there. It's working. It's really good. And then you have another thing if you want, and that is really good. And it's 4K 60, I think. I'm unsure now. And this one is the 4K 120, I think. Again, but it's a pass through, which I don't like. I have a bit of an issue with pass through overall. Nonetheless, doesn't change the fact that these two might be better for capturing the camera, but you also have we look at this fucking page every time, right? It's just it's there. You have the A6000, which is this one, and it has been verified. It works. It does the thing that it's supposed to do, which is good. But for some reason, for you, it doesn't. So I don't know exactly why. But maybe that's the reason. Are you in like a weird ass not 60 FPS type of thing? Are you in 30? Are you in a 24 FPS situation? Like, oh, you think the camera is the issue? Like the camera has all the software? Software. That is a fair point. That is a fair point. I never think about that. Mine is this one, and that works. And I never had issues with the camera itself. So, yeah. If you wanted to downgrade your camera, by these are good. The A5100 is good. It's gonna have the same ish quality for the camera, and this one is like $200 now, kinda. So highly recommend. This one was the 5100 was my first. So yeah, I basically from there to there, and now I'm looking at the ZV1 and ZV10 because you know, I don't have a job, therefore I need to spend money with things that I don't need. Yes. And Sony overall is pretty good for working with Elgato, so that's why I don't really understand how and why it's not working for you. Like it makes no sense to me. Like you should be good. Yeah. No clue. No clue. Have you checked software updates for the camera? Like updating the software through your PC, through Sony's platform? Maybe that's a thing that could help. I don't know how to do that. I know I need to do that on my thing, but because I'm on a Mac, it's a bit more complicated. Mostly. But yeah, maybe that's a thing that you need to do. Yeah, I think I said the same thing. I think I said the exact same thing, and said it looks annoying, and it's gonna take a while to ensure that the things go through and works, but maybe it's now better than before. I don't know. And yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. Hmm. Yeah. Also, that is scary. Um, to me as well. But it seems pretty straightforward with 16 steps. God damn. Uh, at least click on that link, maybe. Take a look at it, see if it's a good-ish thing, and we'll see. You know, maybe I can help. But nonetheless, if you get this one, it's good. If you get the other one that I like, it's good. If you get this one, it's good as well. The like technical things, not that it matters, but this one works as well. It's more for console capture than a camera capture, but I mean, it works the same way, right? And it's cute. It's cute. That's all I'm gonna say. It's cute. It works. I really like the Neo products overall. I'm thinking about getting rid of this light that you can't see, but it's on the side, and replacing it by these, because these are cheaper and they are mobile, like entirely mobile. And that to me is more interesting to be able to travel with that, because this would be way easier for me to just take that in my bag, because it doesn't need like a stand or something. Just so good compared to the Keylight Air that needs to be like kind of. Jerome, hi, work on it. I am thinking about it. It's not really available in France, which is sad because they should. But yeah, I got the Keylight on this side and the Keylight Air on this side, and I have a secondary um, Air there, and I have two Keylight Air in Japan. Uh, and I need a sponsorship by Elgato because I have too much shit from them. Uh, Purples, hi, welcome on in. Why? Yeah, I mean the Keylight Air is much cheaper in Japan. Like the basics here is 149, and when I'm buying it in Japan, it's like 105. But yeah, it's mostly for travels that I'm looking at the Neo rather than anything else. Bitch, this website is pissing me off every time. Just because it doesn't have a stand. The stand is what pisses me off on the Keylight Air, because it's yeah, it's just it seems pretty good. Overall, seems pretty good, but it's $100, so I don't know. And also, again, it's not really available in France, so I don't know. I don't know. Um, I don't need more lights, but it's mostly like if I were to get rid of these lights that I already have, I will probably go for something that is portable and that I can use the same way. So having the Elgato ones with the Elgato software makes more sense to me. Um, But I'm thinking about leaving my house. Can't. I'm thinking about leaving my my country entirely forever. So I need something that can be packed easier. Otherwise, I need to like sell. I mean, I would need to sell everything anyways, but instead of selling everything and then being with no lights, no devices, nothings for the period of time in between me living and that. Yeah, I already have the lights in Japan. Yes, yes, but it's just the period in between. It's the in between. Um, I got, and Jerome, I said that 3 times already, but I got a weird non-response response um, today. I had interviews a month and a half, 2 months ago with a company that took 2.5 weeks to get back, which I had the second interview, which was good. At the end of the second interview, the guy said, uh, from my point of view, you are moving on to the next steps. Like, I like your profile, I like everything that we've talked about today. Though the person that you need to see is on vacation, she's coming back in like 2.5 weeks. So you need to wait. And it's been 2.5 weeks, roughly. And today I received an email saying that my CV screening was rejected and that they will not move forward with my application. Which is weird because my CV screening was accepted the first time. I don't know. It's not a rejection, but it's just an uncertainty type of thing at that instant. I don't know if it's very typical. Like my usual thing is mostly you have like skills, but we chose to select someone else. This one being like a Japanese company is not really typical of them to say something and not honor their words of saying that you move on to the next step. Like if the person says you move on to the next step, you move on to the next step, and then in the next step they choose or they do something that says it doesn't work. But if you said that, um, yeah, I did that. The thing is, they have a 7-step process, so that's a different thing. Hmm. Yeah. And Jerome, yes, it's kind of a red flag. I'm trying to do that. The thing is, I don't know exactly who I was supposed to talk to in the next step. I just had the initial hiring team person that set me up with the hiring manager person, which I had a really good chat with, and from there I was supposed to go with the person that is kind of responsible from the department of design-ish type of thing before I move on to the CEO chat. And I don't know exactly who that person is, and I had no contact with them whatsoever. So yeah, um, I don't, Jerome. I don't really. I kind of don't give a fuck. I don't want to, but I kind of have savings that I can tap on in if necessary. I wish I wasn't. It would be better to not happen that, but I can. If it's necessary, it can happen. And yeah, so that's why I'm like, I don't really mind not having a job. I would rather have one. But it's been like officially like a corporate job. It's been like a year and a half now. So I'm used to it. But yeah, the purples, the one of the company that I chased back um, was kind of weird. Like basically, I applied in 25 to 50 minutes. I received an email saying, "You're not a good match." To which I replied, based on the job posting that you have, I am a better match than what you're looking for, and listing everything of my skills, what they're looking for, my skills, what they're looking for, all that. And then one of them I was like, this one I don't really have, but I'm sure I can learn that. And the guy said, oh, my mistake, I thought I pressed the send a meeting invite, not the like refusal button. So I think this was fake, but I still did 6 interviews with them. And at the end, the last interview was with 2 younger than me or less experienced than me designers, and their take was he seems to skip steps in processes. And what I said during the interview was, if the step is not necessary, we can skip it. And they took that into he skips steps in processes, which is a big ass red flag for me. Like, you're willing to spend more money on a project and spend more time on something that you know will not work. So I would rather skip a step and go faster. But they're like, no, 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 you need a full process. I'm like, yeah, you're younger than me. I can see that. And they opened like that specific company opened a job in Japan as well. Denny, hi, I'm calling. And I applied, and they gave me a no almost immediately as well. So I don't know. And the guy that I had a good chat as well in that company didn't reply to my message on LinkedIn about that opening in Japan. So I'm just it's just bad. It's a bad company. I didn't really want to work for them anyways because of the industry that they were or still are on in. Um, yeah, it's a platform to ensure or to help insurance company to price themselves better based on the person that they are trying to insure. So a person is going to an insurance company to get like insurance on their life, on their car, and something. And that platform that I would have worked for is basically a data aggregator that basically that go through the person data and create a profile saying if that person is at risk, not at risk, all of these things, so that the insurance can price gouge that person. So it's a very American company, but they want to be everywhere, and I don't like that as a business practice. I think that's a very bad thing to do, but eh, you know, that happens sometimes. So yeah, I missed that. The the one that gave me the most the excuse that was the most uh, I don't trust that as a reason. They said that I was too confident in my ability to do my job in that company. Um, and they said that my resume wasn't a designer resume enough, visually speaking. These two are just bullshit. They could have just said, well, in the price range that you are asking for, you seem too high for us, and us giving you like a or making you an offer that was under your lowest end maybe would have seemed bad on our end. So I don't know. But yeah, they are excuses. They are mostly excuses. So we'll see how things happen. Huh. I think I had some things for you, Denny. 1 second. I'm thinking if I don't know if I have. I saved stuff. Yes. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's gonna be fine. gonna see it's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's not the best, but it's kind of the best option that you have because it's just so easier to um, like if you have a job, as you just said, which is the case, and you have some money coming in, and you can just suffer in that company and not do as much as you were doing or as you want to do or whatever, and then look for another job. It's pretty good. But yeah. Good job. Okay, good job. That should take you 3 days to learn, Denny. That is, yeah, that is not complex at all. Let me, let me. So, um, you open the console in Chrome, which either you use the shortcut or you don't, whichever. If you don't, you just do like a right click, inspect, and it will highlight the element like in there. You probably know how to do that, as you just said, but the thing is, don't try to do that. Try to add stuff now. So if you are like, I have an H1 right there, maybe I need something that is like doubling this element. It needs to be like two H1s. It might need to be not an H1. It might need to be an H3. And that H3 is supposed to be something different, and it contains, I don't know, another words that we use often, and add stuff through the console is gonna give you a bit of an understanding of the layout and stuff, and then ensuring that you have the design that you want to have is gonna be at the bottom. But yeah, it's not that complicated. That's why I'm saying like you basically need 3 days to learn HTML and CSS basics to build like a layout, and then after that, you good. So that's that. As you just said, yes, you have the ability to go through the inspect, but adding stuff through the inspect is going to be the most complex stuff ish. And then there is also the I forgot how to do that every time. I mean, not every time. I never know. That's mostly the truth. Yeah, just that. If you add like the document design mode on in the F12 in the console, you would have the ability to change stuff directly through the page, and that's pretty useful if you just want to edit the page content. But that's mainly just text content, but you do that through. Like here, for example, if I activated it, I would have access to this and I could change that text. I wouldn't be able to change the visuals of that text. So, different things. But that's gonna be the base exercise that you kind of need to do, going through the console, adding things. And once you have like a good grasp on how it works and what you can do with it, you should be good. I don't know what tech you're using. Yeah, if it's Tailwind, it's even easier than that for you. If it's Yes, Svelte is different than, I mean, Svelte is for the JavaScript section, not for the CSS section. So you could use Svelte and Tailwind. But yeah, that you have HTML, which is right there. You have CSS that is right there, which is Tailwind. Then you have JavaScript, which is right there, which is going to be using Svelte. So anything that is in JavaScript is going to be for the not automation, like the interactivity of the platform and things that needs to interact with other pages mostly, or most of the time. Like you have a button that triggers a form, and that form needs to go somewhere. That's usually going to be in JavaScript. It can be done in HTML and CSS only, but these two are good enough. Have a good look. But that, yeah, I think really 3 days is the good. I mean, don't cry on top of the cam because electronics and water not good. So be careful. But yeah, have fun with the fix if you can figure that out. I don't know. Yes. I mean, yeah, it's just a state. um, like it's basically you have the input that switch from its initial states to welcome back to its extended state. Yeah, it's just well, good job on fixing it without knowing. If you just unplug the thing and replugged it while it was working, usually that works. Usually. I can show something live, Denny. Is that what you're saying? I can see things. God damn! I can show something that Denny's doing. Where's Tony when we have a Denny design coming in? How? Send link. Send stuff. I kind of need to do that while you're. Alan, hi, welcome on in. I reactivated my Blue Sky account. Alright. It is reactivated. It's not, I'm not using it, but it's now reactivated through my own domain. So it's aoa.design, technically it works. And yeah. Yeah. I got on it when it basically launched. First month or something. Like I got access really quickly. And then I tried it for 3 weeks and it was kind of shit. And then I did kind of deactivated. So yeah, not that good. Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, that's basically why I went in chat. I also reactivated my thread account. Same thing. Yeah, I'm on it. Danny, it's already open in the browser. All that. All of that. Um mhm. Yeah, I mean this is just a switch container, so yeah. So the main issue that I have with Blue Sky right now is that because I'm not following people much and that it doesn't aggregate stuff to show me things that could be interesting to me. Like there is less algorithmic discovery as far as I can tell so far. It's just boring compared to Twitter that everyone is there anyways, so it makes more sense. The bitch can't stop sending me things. Hmm. I mean, yeah. Then one thing that you can think for the question of can it be done? Yes. The answer is always going to be yes. The way that you build it in Figma implies that the technical creation of that thing is feasible in code. There is no issues because Figma basically is code, even though it is a Canva. It is still code. The code in a Canva is way different than HTML and CSS, but it's still feasible. That's what I'm saying. So if you have made the thing with the transition and the behavior that you want to have in Figma already, creating something similar is not easy, but it is feasible. As in, again, me being able to do this in Swift, like I can do that as well in HTML and CSS, and it's the exact same thing. It would probably need some JavaScript for the selector because I don't know how to do that without it. But, right, it is feasible. And that came from, as a starting point. Did I put it here? No. Did I put it here? No. Did I put it here? No. Yes? No. There? Yes.
Finite Singularity raided my stream with 76 viewers.
Goddamn. Finite. Hi. Welcome and thanks a lot for the raid today. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot for the shout out last time. That didn't end up with a raid on me, but I appreciate that. Welcome on in. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm AOA. I'm the helping designer. If you have any design question, feel free to ask. As always, welcome on in. Have a good raid and run. Appreciate it. And I hope the whatever plugin code things animation Finite was doing worked on that stream. But yeah, I'm using everything that Finite is using, right? As in the blur, the mask, the things for the transitions around here. We do a lot of design. We're currently talking about the feasibility of things in code compared to design. And I'm just showcasing something. As in, I built this thing in a Figma file in a bad way. I tried many things, many different things, many IDs, and then I did it in Swift, and now it works. So yeah. But I saw someone that I haven't seen before. Theodore.
Theodoros underscore 1234 underscore is now following.
Welcome on in. Thank you for the chat and the follow. I appreciate that. Dragon Gem, same thing. Welcome on in. Steffi as well. Long time no see. I hope you're good.
Darjo underscore is now following.
Darjo, same thing. Dragon Gem, thank you for the follow. Both of you. Appreciate it. Highly appreciate it. It's the most numbers we had.
Dragon Gym is now following.
I mean, it's... Yeah, no, it's in that side. We're going to have not enough space. If we have 10 people, I have no more space. Exandro, hi.
Robert Tables is now following.
And also, yes, obviously everything that I'm using is from Exandro. Yeah. Streamer be streaming, right? You know, all that. Ravy, Roberts.
Ravi Plays Games is now following.
More follows than I had in a year. That's crazy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. What the fuck was I about to say? I don't know. I forgot. I forgot. Denny, you said you sent more stuff, and then you said video input position episode when email is visible. Yeah. So it is feasible. That's all the only thing that I'm saying. Um, that's a big ass zoom. That was a big ass zoom. God damn. I'm not used to that. Yeah. So I'm thinking about feasibility in between design and code, which my take right now is mostly if you can design it, you can code it. It might be me as a designer that has been designing for 16, 18 years. It is extremely easy for me to just design things. Coding things, I'm not there yet. I mean, I did dev this entire app, which is really cool. If you are someone who's interested in learning Japanese, you can't type. You know what? I'm gonna do that myself. Exclamation mark can in the chat. If you have an iPhone and you on iOS 18, um, you I would highly appreciate if you want to test it out and test out this thing. This thing is pretty cool. I like it. I made it. I'm biased. Extremely biased. But yeah, it's a basic Japanese learning platform with quizzes, things that you are used to if you are used to Duolingo and other language learning apps, but it has like a bit more designer feel out of it. God damn it. Also, yeah, that happened. Oh, why now? Why now? Thank you. Appreciate it. Keeping me. Keeping me up. And I'm gonna be dying for the next 5 minutes. Jeannie, hi. Welcome in on YouTube. What the fuck are you doing on YouTube? Ah, shit. Yes, you did. Concept, the email input button should only give the ability to go to the video input when the email entered is valid. So if the email is not valid, that's going to be mostly in JavaScript, yes. It is not. It's sadly a French accent that is currently very French and very out of breath. But yes, not Australian. Quite the other side of the planet. Sadly for myself. The Duolingo team in Japan for Christmas last year, when I was in Tokyo last year, they had a food truck of chicken dyed green. So you were basically taking pictures with the Duolingo mascot and eating the Duolingo mascot. It was weird. It was really weird. And to answer your question, Danny, you should be able to do that. The conditional of if email is valid, I don't know how to do that. That's not a thing that I can do. But that's the thing that is feasible, yes. If that is the thing that you're looking for. So yeah, going back to the feasibility of design that I was saying, I started with the initial components, like 2 selectors, native selector from iOS, and then moved to weird-ass IDs. And from these weird-ass IDs, I now have a good working weird-ass ID with haptic feedbacks. I didn't say that to you last time, Danny, but it works. It has some ticks. It has some clicks. You can feel it. It's pretty cool. I haven't rechecked the feasibility of the app in the small phones in a while, so they probably have been broken since then. Because that is crazy. That is crazy. Oh. But yeah, other than that, as Steffi said also, if you can design it, you can dev it. It mostly true. There is just one factor that happens in 99% of the cases, which is you can dev everything. Everything is feasible in code. There is nothing that is unfeasible in code. It will just take more time. Maybe the thing that you're trying to do is going to take you 6 years to achieve because there is a technology that doesn't exist yet, but you would need to build like a new tech to achieve the thing that you wanted to do. And that can take 6 years, but at the end of the day, it's feasible. It's just the time that it will take sometimes is not necessary. So if you just have like a tiny thing like what Corbin has done with the pixels and the things, that is feasible. It is feasible. I feel like they need. You share that on LinkedIn, right? You're a LinkedIn person for some reason. Ha. Where you at? My LinkedIn is just shit. I'm gonna go through your DMs. It's gonna be faster. Also, the my invoice thing is pretty good. We agree. Where is that thing? There? There. Personally, for me, I feel like each of the segments should have a gradient. You know, like top being full color, bottom being not full color, and then you would have like a sense of direction, a sense of speed, like it basically creating fake motion blur. That would make more sense to me. So if that's an option and Corbin can do that, do that. But it's cool. It is a neat design thing. And Roberts, I do agree. I try to get my LinkedIn up to date as often as I can, just to ensure that the content that is in there can be like more attractive to some other people. So even if I'm in a company, I'm just updating my things based on like job titles or other things. But yeah, I hate LinkedIn so much. One of the things that is kind of weird right now is on mobile they introduced like a TikTok feed, and it really is a TikTok feed. Like I feel like I'm on TikTok, and it's just weird. I mean, I spend all of my day on TikTok anyways already, but god dang. God dang. Anyways, going back on that, I think, yeah, that is feasible, pretty feasible. And as you just said, you also have the underneath element that goes under when the email is valid and has been sent. But yeah, that is a pretty simple thing. Like if you have the check, the please enter your work email thing, and then the check if it's like a valid email, which again I don't know how that works, but to me it is feasible, pretty easily feasible. Though the build that I would have is kind of not different, but it would be a bit not like this. I don't think I would have the element underneath. I think I would have the element on the side, as in a side-to-side email field button in one container, and then on either the right or the left, whichever. I think I would do that with the elements on the left side, with the watch video 3 minutes thingy. And so if you click on the watch demo video now, it would slide in if the email is valid. I don't. Denny doesn't really have any coding experience either. The thing is, right now, Denny's trying to do things in design to ensure that it's feasible or achievable by the dev that is working on that project. So that's for dev, yes, it is pretty simple. And again, for any assistant that exists right now, it's pretty simple as well. So I think email validation, the initial thing, the very, very, very bad thing to do is something something at something something dot at least 2 character, then it's valid. And then if the at something something is at gmail.com, it's not considered as a work email, as said right here. Therefore, it doesn't pass. But this is a character check, and I don't think like a brute force each character check is a good idea, mainly because it creates these checks every time. So I don't like that. But also, I'm not a dev. I don't know shit. I don't know. The only thing that I know is that I have some ability to communicate with some devs sometimes, which is enough for me. And yeah, this thing that I built still works. So I'm fine with that. Cool, this is not broken. I thought because I added the dismiss button, it would be broken. Yeah. I think there is like a how is it called? The extension, it's not the domain name, but like the dot something. Because you can have like a .co, .me, .app, .whatever, as my personal email is at aoa.design. So because that's my website, so that makes sense. But like checking if the extension works, other than .com, I mean, most of them, there is no .i, for example, as far as I know. Like it's always at least 2 letters, so if it's at least 2, you should be good. Yeah, it's mostly going to be checking and ensuring that the thing is valid. For me, that's going to be a bit more complex. That red is really red. And it's mostly pink, but yeah. Let's see if Kuru has the broken conjugation. No, we good. We have everything. Everything is readable at the top. The elements are good. We have the hiragana at the bottom that changes, which is cool. And in my dictionaries, that is bad. We have too much space on the side, so I need to change that. And we also have way too much space around the image, which makes the corner radius not aligned. So I need to change that. It kind of is aligned with this one because we don't have 3 lines of text. And these ones are not. So I need a fixed height. And I need to figure out how to ensure that this works every time. Yeah, we're gonna check that out. Yeah, details. But yeah, if you are interested in learning Japanese, I would highly recommend you to check out Can in exclamation mark Can in the chat to have access to the test flight link. And if you want to test it out and break it out, please do so. Please break the thing. I want you to break everything because I need feedbacks. I need to know if it's good or not. For easing, it's kind of simple. I would rather you use a non-custom Bezier curve rather than a totally custom one, because you know. But if you just want that, you can just have that and get the code in question, and you should be good. So for transition, for other things. What specific do you want to know about easing and animation stuff? Because that will change my answer, for sure. For sure. So what the fuck did I say? I said I changed the card view right there, and I need that to have less padding around the entire thing. Match cuts. Why? Oh, I'm gonna say something right now that will help you. For the email inputs, you're good. For anything that is in an email, I know that's not what you're talking about, but like that's what my brain went in. Anything that is email related, as in mailing list and all of that, you can forget about any animations, transitions, other things that aren't GIFs or potential videos, but most of the time none of them work. So yeah, just for reference for later, if you have some email and mailing list to do, do not do any animations in there. But if you want to do, can you explain what you call match cuts? Because I think the thing that I call match cuts is different than what you have in mind right now. I'm probably wrong, as always, but you know, just let me know what you call a match cut. There is also the, we talked about it, we have it in the Discord somewhere. It is in the resources for sure. And it's been a while, so it's probably, I think I saw it through, but it's a yellow page. It's a black and yellow page. And we talked about it a long time ago. It's been a while. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a 2020-ish type of thing. It's not Framer Motion, is it? I doubt it. Yeah, no, it's not this one. This one is pretty good as well if you want, right? Framer Motion will help you to have like some sort of a good base. Framer Motion is not just for Framer. It is the motion framework by Framer, in Framer, but you can use that elsewhere. So that's the first thing. The second one that would be really cool is gonna be, let's open that we have access to that, and I can just do this. The other one is going to be JSAP, which has been, as we now know, has been acquired by Webflow since the beginning of the week or last week. This is anything you need if you want to have some animations in your platform as a designer that's going to be like kind of working every time. JSAP is really cool. And in the other one that I'm looking for, which is it's a motion library in JS, and I forgot, and I doubt that it's motion.js. That would be weird and you know, not true, but we never know. It is. God damn it. That one is also a pretty good motion library. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's yeah, it's a good library overall for animation transitions and in activities on your overall platform. So yeah, check them out. All of them. These three. This one is the one that I was looking for. Thank you, Malcolm. Appreciate it. Let me check that. I don't think this is a match cut. You're talking about that, right? You click on something, you have something that comes in, and then after that you have something that comes in. Is that what you call match cut? Yeah, this is not. I mean, we wouldn't call that a match cut. This is mostly just a staggered animation. You have animation one, and then when animation one is ended or has is close to end, you start the second one, meaning that your animation number one is gonna take, I don't know, a second, and at 0.8 second you start the second one. So yeah, that's I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, I doubt it, you know, I doubt it. There's the other one that I passed, and I know the thumbnails. It is somewhere along the line of here. It's a black and red thumbnail with a bit of a Bezier curve on it for animation specifically, and transitions and other activities. I know I'm scrolling a lot. That thing right there. So this is a bit more complex than just animation. Like it also touch on Bezier curve as a general thing, but it also has a ton of like good information in there. And this is basically what you're trying to do in a way. As in animation 1 start, animation 2 start, animation 3 starts. And in there you would have all of the basics of how things work and how to ensure that you have like a custom animation, a custom Bezier curve, and you can 100% get some weird ass things like that. Makes no sense, but it works. Anywho, yeah, this is this entire thing is going to help you a lot if you're trying to achieve some sort of a animation curve in yeah, in your design, and also probably going to be really good for your devs if they don't have that knowledge yet. They can now with that, which I kind of used. I kind of used that when I had to do or create the tab bar right there, because the entire logic of how the curve is created is basically that. You have your point number one that is around here, your point number two that is around here, and it's just a Bezier curve that bends with a specific amount of curvature, which is currently 8. And so if I change, or if I were to change this to, like, I don't know, 2, for example, it's just weird. And 8 is currently the right value for us. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the main idea, main concept, and it's the same thing. It's just a Bezier curve, and that took me a while to grasp, but it's good. It is good. So yeah, the motion is going to be useful for you, and then this one is going to be pretty cool as well. The other thing that I saw, again, I don't have brain for this thing. I know we had talked about it. I shared it last week. Again, I think I share it often. You have this one, which is a ton of animation. These are mostly for references. There is like a ton of things in there, and this one, same thing, mostly for references for transition animation. There is multiple version of that article, or multiple how can I say that, transition options. This article is pretty straightforward, with a ton of data and a ton of information, but it also has like a ton of in-depth reading for transition and best practices there. So looking for families payment transaction badge. Transaction badge. Families payment? Why? Why? Share a link, or did you share a link in here? In here. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm lost. I am lost. Oh, you mean that? That's what you talk families values. My bad. Damn. I can't read. I can't read text. You know that. The dyslexia take over often. But yeah, all of these things are going to be pretty useful for you to have like references and bases if you just want that to be easier. I'm using this page often right now for my transitions on like as a keyframing points, because it helps a ton, and I'm currently kind of trying to build these types of models at the bottom that are not full screen just yet. So yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. Yeah. That is not what I call match cut. Still. Yeah, this isn't a match cut at all. It is just a transition. Also, because it's gonna haunt me forever if I don't say it. A match cut in video is when you match 2 points. So let's say you go through in a one singular motion. You have a character that crossed the street, and when the camera kind of pass a light pole, there is a cut in the middle, and then when the camera comes back, or like technically when you're looking at the film or the movie, it doesn't really look like there has been a cut, but there is a cut in between, behind the pole. So basically there was 2 takes, and that is a match cut. It's when 2 pieces of film are put together And in order for the transition to work, there is the need for match cut. Therefore, we need to put the camera in the same place. So there is a lot of match cut transitions on TikTok right now. If you haven't seen that, like there is a lot of transition creators that exist. There is one American girl that is doing like a lot of transitions that are really cool. And I don't know if I have this. I probably do in some of my liked elements, but it's been a while. No, this is a transition. This is just an SVG transform things. Um, let me see if I can find this girl. I probably can't. It's been a while. I have doubts. Lots of it. I don't think I sent her to Cat anyways, so I doubt I'd be able to find that. Why? Where's this? I should just look like. Yeah, they're basically. This one is kind of ish. This is more of a transition, but it's also kind of similar of a match cut ish. That there is a cut in the middle of these two scenes, and match cut. Like the placement of the body, the placement of the person, the placement of the camera matches, and that is what you would call a match cut. This is more for transition, but yeah. Anyways, the usual one is the light pause in movies. The like there is a ton of movies that have been praised for being like a single take, as in the Dunkirk. I think Dunkirk is a single take ish movie where you need to have everything working at all times, and there is like I think one or two match cuts somewhere. So yeah, and it's mostly the same. Like the if you watch a lot of YouTubers, if you watch a lot of YouTubes, but also a lot of YouTubers, there is a lot of them that start the video with this and that ends the video with this. And basically the idea is to get the transition in between scene A and scene B to be good. So sometimes you can see TikTokers that do the same thing with putting the phone on their face and then putting them in their pocket and pulling it out somewhere else. And it's a different type of season. You had last year, we had a bit of a trend with filming your screen and looking outside with the weather that is kind of shit, and then going into the weather app on your phone and scrolling through to a different country and then validating that country, and then your camera is in that country because you went on vacation. So yeah. Chris, hi, welcome in. It's starting today because my thumbnails were making me look like a beaver. Well, that happens. Is it the thumbnail or is it eh. I said nothing. I said nothing. The the thing that I would say, Chris, for the starting soon section, please Don't do a 5 minute starting soon that is empty where people don't know that you're here. Specifically in the beginning of a streaming experience journey type of thing, I would highly, highly, highly recommend to have this. Obviously, I am biased, right? Because, but this view here implies and helps the user know that yes, it is starting soon. I am doing things in the background, but I am here. I am not taking a shit, and I haven't like just pressed the button and I went to take a shit and I will be back later in 5 minutes. No, it's mostly like a thing to let me have enough time to set up like the discords, the messages, all the things, and then when I'm here and I'm ready, I can just move on to the inner working of anything. But yes, have a view of some sort that showcases that you are here and you are not like looking at something that is empty. If it's just 30 seconds, that's fine. Um, yeah. It would be helpful to have some transitions, that's for sure. So yeah, Denny, that's and yes, also for shorts to have like the start and end thing, it's basically the first sentence is at the middle of the end sentence because you record the entire thing. You basically start with and that's why blah 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 blah, and then you cut at the that's why and you move it in the beginning. Um, I I don't know if I have. I don't know if you are trolling me, which is probable, but it depends. Sometimes. Oh, you mean narrative for the blur things? Yes, maybe. I do. It depends. My brain is all over the place. All right, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We have as a that's one of the perks, kinda. As a dyslexic person, I most of the dyslexic person have been recognized to have like good storytelling capabilities, which is also going kind of fun with the company that rejected me for not having good communication skills. Because I have good storytelling skills, which is exactly what you need when you need to explain something to someone that doesn't understand what you're trying to do. Anyways, yes, I can tell stories, and it can be good, but it's also with the ADHD that hasn't been diagnosed, but it's probably there. Um, I am all over the place all the time, and yeah. The thing is, earlier I said, "What the fuck was I saying?" Maybe that would come back like automatically in an hour. So that happens. Jonathan, hi, welcome in. Today we've been having good landings, but yours right now, you're dropping the eggplant in the center of the screen, and yeah, that's not good. Hugo earlier landed at 94.5 or 95.4, like centered. That was impressive. That was impressive. I don't know if leaderboard is a thing. But yeah. So yeah, then need to go back to your initial question. Yes, the input transition is absolutely feasible, and it is easy because it's just transitions. I would say if you just want to learn how to do that in CSS, HTML, and JavaScript too, I mean, I would highly recommend you to do that in HTML and CSS only, but also just check if it's the stack that the devs would find helpful. Um, in the beginning, take a rectangle that is blue, that is going to be your input, and you create a div, and you animate that div, which is just a rectangle. And then you add a gray rectangle, which is going to be your video. That's all you animate. You just do that with divs that are containing nothing. And then you add animation to the content of these divs by adding the content in the div. Yeah, that makes sense. And you add small animations. So the teeny tiny thing that I'm building, for example, let me see if I can have like something that makes kind of sense here. Yeah, maybe. Also, we are on the Touch ID thing, so that's probably gonna break. Exactly. It's broken. That's a good thing on Apple side. Amazing, amazing builders. So here, for example, what I did in the beginning is I created these cards. These cards you could click on it and you access the dictionary, and that was about it. Like that's all you could do. And then after that, I said, you know what? I'm gonna have something which is splitted the content to ensure that we have a more granular and better path. And so that I then added this thing that expands and showcase content. So that was the initial thing. And then when that was working and I was happy with it, I said, you know what, we need like a lock in the middle so that it always showcases that it's locked or unlocked. And then we need the progress bar that just progress based on the activities of the user. And so adding things one by one through like ensuring that things work, that helps. And then when all of these was done, I said, now that we have that, we need to add some sort of a progress checker based on the chunks inside of the dictionary to add some visual hints that the dictionary here, for example, has been fully mastered, achieved, whatever you want. So it's main color plus shiny, and you can still access it and have all of the content, but that is basically step by step, adding teeny tiny things here and there until it's working. New design next week. I'm happy with Nate. Ocean Tours needs to get a job. I see. But yeah, same thing on this one, for example. I forgot if I have added the multiple. I didn't. But same thing. That streak element has been redesigned 6 times since I started. There are versions that I have made with animations, with transitions, with everything that had a shelf life of 6 hours. I did them, I went to sleep, I came back, I said it's shit, it needs to be something different, I did something different. Iteration, that's gonna be kind of what you need to do. But now we have these with shiny, and for now I'm pretty happy with it. It's gonna change soon, but yeah. Jonathan, you're talking about someone's course, and I didn't see that. Yeah. PG's course is good. I don't think I have watched the last video. I bought the thing. I don't think I have finished it. But it's I think it's a good base for someone that is a designer and that wants to not that that wants to get into dev. PG's course is really good as a starting point. It isn't that expensive. You probably will have access to it for free for reasons, because you work with PG. But the entire content is pretty good. Like you have, or you will have a knowledge and an understanding of the basics for 90% of what needs to happen in the transition from design to dev using Tailwind and other Alpine JS for this one specifically, like interactive things. Other than that, it is a very limited thing. I do agree with that. Yes, so I mean, we can take a look at Rive for sure, because Rive is great, but I hate the state machine. I mean, personally speaking, I love this. This button is just the most satisfying button ever, and I love this state. But other than that, that's it. I do have an account somewhere. Let's see if I'm logged in. I doubt it. So, oh, we don't have personal files now. I see. The main reason why I don't like it is this thing. The state machine is not really, god damn it, is not really working as I would love for it to work. Like it's weird. It's not like an intuitive UI that I'm used to. And the main reason why I don't like it is because the interface overall doesn't conform to what we are used to. As in, it places itself as a motion design / animation tool. And when you think about a motion design / animation tool, you're probably gonna think of After Effects or Jitter or Fable. Fable is gonna be pretty good because I think the landing page kind of helps. But you kind of think about this. You have a timeline with animations and keyframes and things. The state machine, which is more for gaming environment built, to me, it doesn't really do what it's supposed to do, or not entirely. So it's just like I don't get it. And I'm sure if I spend the time to basically get it, it would be great, and I would 100% do a ton of animations from or for the app that I'm building through Rive and use that. But for now, it is just so weird, and nothing makes any sense in my head when I'm looking at the interface. So that's the main reason. Because the UI is just so weird. For something that you like, you call your software an animation software, therefore I'm expecting an animation software, and I am seeing something that is not an animation software. It is kind of programming concept. Yes, it's mostly, I mean, for me, it's mostly like a gaming concept. I think we have state machine in Unity, Godot thing, and the other one, Unreal, which works kind of the same way. But yes, And yes, the traffic light is pretty good. The thing that we have as a reference in here is pretty good. Like they have a ton of references and previews, obviously, because it's their tool. But the entire thing that you can see here is made with the state machine, and apparently Duolingo also now is kind of, most of the animation is made through Rive, which is pretty good. But yeah, that is pretty impressive. I know that Colbin had a bit of a not really liking this thing, technically speaking, when it comes to the outputted code. But yeah. Oh yeah, it is a great time saver because this is gonna be a visual animation. So, or let me rephrase that. It's gonna be a visual creation tool. So if you are a designer and you just want to animate something quickly, this is gonna be easier because it's visual. If you need to do that in code, you need to understand the logic behind it, which is the Bezier curve and all that, to know that, well, all of these things would work. Like this state machine thingy, to ensure that you have a transition between your star being active or inactive. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense to me. It entirely does after the fact, but at the beginning, it doesn't. Have a good look. Have a good meeting, I'm guessing. So, most of the things that are in here are really cool. There is one that have been shared last week that is really good, that I like a lot. Come on, where you at? This one is just great as an animation. Like it helps so much in understanding what happens, how things happen, what you can do, what needs to be done by the user. It's so good. It's so good. So you know, all of that, all of these things are really, really cool when it comes to the animations. It is just at that instant, my brain doesn't have the mental capacity to learn something new again. Like as I have been saying for the past almost year now, learning Japanese as a language is taking a ton of my brain power as a starting point. That's the first thing. The second thing is learning how to ensure that the Japanese learning app that I'm building for myself work is taking the other side of my brain power, which now is extremely limited. And so I know, for example, that the state machine would have been absolutely game changer here. I wouldn't have spent 3 weeks trying to get this fucking tab bar animation to work and react and do all the thing that it needs to be done. In there, it would have been kind of immediate, and it would work. I know that, but having to take the time to learn how Rive works to ensure that this curved tab bar would work, that's a waste of my time right now. I would rather focus on something and then have a better understanding of something rather than a like surface level on everything. I mean, I have a not so deep. I have that. I'm a T person, kind of V person in my knowledge base. I know a lot of things. I know a lot of things in depth, but the thing that I know in depth are really specific. And so, yeah, I mean, right here, the little bit of coding that I have, which is JavaScript, like vanilla JavaScript basic things, because SwiftUI is basically JavaScript-ish in terms of syntax. There are a lot of things that are similar, but also it's just Swift is Objective-C type ish still sometimes. So right, I recognize some of the syntax and it helps. But there has been times where I just don't understand how things work. And there have been times where I do understand and it makes a lot of sense in no time. So, yeah. Anyways, I have derailed myself again, like I always do. But that's the main reason why Rive is kind of complicated for me. It's just too interface new at that instant for me to be able to just jump in and grasp the entire thing. Like that whole stuff is just it. Yeah, it feels crazy to me to like put in place so much. Like this is so cool, but like learning, I hate Twitter for the sounds. Like turning this into a going up or going down based on the number. There is a lot of logic as I'm gonna Dio. I think Dio is how you pronounce your name. Dajo doesn't sound weird. It's probably a J/Y, but yeah, having a bit of coding knowledge when it comes to this also, like the brain model, mental model of how code works, is kind of gonna help a lot. It's the same thing as Figma's prototype right now with the variables and other things. Yeah. It's a JJ. It's not a J, so it's Dajo. Interesting. Huh. My brain went in, it's that joke, but there is no second D and there is no K at the end, so it's Dajo. I don't know. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. So yeah, that's the main reason. I would love to though. I really wish I currently had the brain power, because this entire section of learning how to build like my quiz model, don't worry about it. I like it. I appreciate it. But yeah, learning all that would be so good and so useful. But I just don't have the brain power right now. I feel like it would be more powerful. I don't know. Probably. If I had, and I currently do, but if I had the brain power to learn how to do these types of animations purely in code, which is even more complex than this, obviously, but like with a Canva or with core motion things in iOS, that would be great. And I feel like the power that I would have as a designer type-ish person, with just having the ability to dev the animation that Rive can do, but directly in code. That is way higher in my respect list. As in, if I know how to animate things with with a tool, like let's say Procreate. I'm using Procreate and I'm doing like a frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, and it does the interpolating frames in between. That is impressive, right? But if I had the ability to do the animation through paper, physical, drawing, do the thing, and do the interframes as well, the level of respect from me to me doing that on paper is way higher than if I'm doing that with Procreate. So I feel like it's kind of the same thing for me. If I can do these animations through basic codes, or non-basic code, but like basic codes, it would be much better for me. And it's easier for my brain to learn text, weirdly enough, than learning a new interface that just doesn't match right now how my brain is set for that. Like this is bitch, not this one. This, things like this one, for example. Cavalry has a ton of motion design options and things in there that are really cool, but it's the same interface at the end of the day as After Effects, kind of. Like it looks the same. Whereas I think it's Jitter Motion. Oh, it's Jitter.video. That's what I missed. That's the same thing again. Like this is an animation platform and it makes sense. And there is, you guessed it, a timeline at the bottom, an inspector on the right, a layer list on the left. The designer brain of me see that and is like, cool, I know how that works. The modify, for example, same thing. It's a bit weirder when it comes to the timeline, but it's kind of the same. You end up with the same-ish environment where you have your inspector on the right, your layer list on the left, and your timeline at the bottom. And for Rive, you just end up with your inspector on the right and layer list on the left, but the bottom is just so weird and so different compared to a regular animation tool that it's just more complicated to grasp. So yeah, but these things are great as well. Like if you wanted to go with interactive banners, interactive landing pages, Unicorn is going to be what I'm going to use for my next website. Like for the website for the Japanese learning app, I'm going to use Unicorn for things that is a given because this is so good and it works. And yeah, you know that. Like look at that, look at that thing, isn't that great? Like everything is just so good. Yay. Like that thing at the bottom, that's one of the ideas I had in the beginning. I mean, I give a lot. Rosanri, hi, welcome in. If you want, like, that link, by the way. Tenno. That is pretty good. It's a pretty good link. But the initial ID for the layout for here, for example, that element there was kind of inspired by that thing at the bottom of Unicorn Studio. Bitch, where you at? There. Like that thing. It could be on the corner of the app, and then you have that. Framer is extremely pricey, yes. I'm paying... I don't even know if you can see that. You probably can't. Yeah, you kind of can't, but like AI.design is a Framer website that I'm paying for. AI.studio is a Framer website that is that I'm paying for. AI.live is a Framer website that I'm paying for. Mob.design is a Framer website I'm paying for. And yeah, that's a lot. If you know how to code, it's not worth it. No, absolutely not. Oh, Jonathan, did I say that at some point? Did I say that the comp site was pretty cool, but also I didn't know how to use it? Yeah. There is, Rossoneri, there is a ton of things that exist for code copy paste, and no code in general is good and useful, but it's on. I mean, to me, it's only useful if you don't know how to code. Like if you have a limited amount of knowledge, I feel like Cursor is going to be everything you need if you wanted to build, like, if I wanted to build a website for the app on my own and not use Framer. I'm currently starting with Framer for some reason. I don't know why. It's just more complicated to just start with Framer and then transfer the things. I'm thinking about building it from scratch from here, and just using Copilot and Cursor AI and other things to build the whole ID for the landing page. I just don't like, and also I'm sure I'm wrong about that, but like when I built my first website, we needed to go through an FTP server by hand, and I'm sure there is an automation now that exists, like having a worker somewhere. But yeah. Yeah. You see, that's the main issue that I have. You said all of that. I can read all of the thing that you just said. I do not understand what it means. As in, dev in Next.js, to me, is just Next.js is a version of JavaScript with a different type of flavor. And then deploy universal, I don't know how that works. So my whole brain is like, I understand the concept that you're talking about, but I don't understand anything of how it works. So yeah, I just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. Right now, the latest thing that I use is this. This is JS basics, and it works. It's just using Tailwind, and that's enough. But yeah. Yeah. I think that, I mean, that's basically what I have. It's just like having a VPS is going to be kind of, yeah. Welcome back. I really like your names every time. I don't know. How did the thing go? You know what? Programming concepts are fine. Programming communication is the hardest. As in, if you explain something, like, I don't know, the one that broke my brain multiple times and then came back, a for loop, or for each, or a dot map in JS, that makes a lot of sense. Most of them. Like when you pop element, when you push element, when you map an array, that is something that makes a lot of sense. But when you're talking about technical things, as in having a Docker container, having something on MongoDB, I don't fucking know what you're talking about. Mostly because I don't care. But yeah. Cool. Have you ever had the grid set up for horizontal references? It's different from the baseline. Good. Good. Please share pics. That is good news. And it's good that you figured it out. The grid 4x4 is it's crazy. One of my designer when I was in an agency a long time ago also did that. They wanted to have like a 4x4 grid on the, I think it was 5x5. I think this one was crazy. He wanted to have like a 5x5 grid, and he did that mainly because iOS screens at that time were 375 in width, and a 5-point grid was a good thing. It's still a good thing, by the way. But yeah, that's just complex. So. I think, yeah, I think for designers, again, going back to what we had here a second ago, which, I mean, we're still on there, but coding for designer mainly being like by PG. His name is PG, so not PG-18 or something. But the entire thing is mostly learning how to use these things. As a designer, you know how to use Figma, and then HTML, CSS, JavaScript is the basics. He explained how Tailwind works, how Alpine.js works, and how Git and Vercel kind of work together. Jan, hi, welcome on in. How are you? How have you been? The website has been designed by Denny. Chris. That is a Denny website. I mean, Seke is a designer as well, so it's a Denny and Seke website, but it's mostly Denny has done that. Yes. And it's also one of these memes that we have internally. If you've been on the chat before, Denny has been working on a lot of platforms, as in this one, Ocean Bits. Also, I don't know if I don't have the latest version, obviously, but Ocean Bits is a blue website. Coding for Designer is a blue website. VidMount is a blue website. And every platform that he's been working on is kind of a blue-colored website. Red Bean Bitter Cream, welcome on in. How are you? Yeah, there's blue everywhere. Thank you, Jan, for testing. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I think Yeah, his portfolio is blue as well, black and blue. Everything is blue. The current state of things, yeah, and if you're interested, like the latest version has this. These are broken in the latest version that I popped before stream, but now they are split and they give you access to a more organic learning material. At least for me, it makes kind of more sense to be able to get that. I figured out maybe the conjugation form to have like all of the conjugation forms in the right places. So that makes sense to me now. And I try to add like more quizzes questions or quizzes types. I can't. So for now, we're gonna stay with that. But the idea is in the current state of the quiz, you end up with having to reply or answer questions about like conjugation, and this is not good because if you don't know how the like how this work, like let's say ageru, cool, maybe I know the word, but I don't really know how to put it in its want form because the want form is not something that I know yet. So I might try things, but I will have like negative answers because it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Have good luck. Here we go. Right now I know because I've been practicing, and so I know it's the Thai version. So it's either Thai or Mas, and this is the want form. So I'm guessing it's gonna agari Thai, and that's good. But if I didn't know that, you're kind of off. So the definition of something that is mastered is if you tap on something 6 times, it goes in mastered. So if I'm here and I have, like this one has been tapped 1, if I tap on it a second time, as in second element, third, fourth, you are about to master this thing, so it's kind of shiny. And then you are like that's the mastering state. This is 5. And then the next time that you see that, it's counted as mastered. And I like the concept of this, but I feel like a tap might not be the good counter. The other thing that I did is that if you enter the quiz and you say good answer, count as known. Bad answers doesn't count at all. So if you had like your things, let's say I'm just resetting that. Just resetting this section, cool. Everything's at 0. And so from here, I'm gonna open this, and on purpose, this is whole. So mistake, me, mistake, yeah, cool. Na, mistake, and then e, mistake. These are unknown. And then from there, if I close the quiz, the only one that has been seen once is the one that I have answered correctly once. So for me to get most of the entries right, I need to at least see them 6 times through the quiz. So yeah, the Anki methods of showing the character based on a time difference, like if you answered it wrong, it's gonna pop back in 1 minute, or it's gonna pop back in 5 minutes, or it's gonna pop back in 5 days. That is not really a thing that I can do, because it's the quizzes are based on the content that is on the page and not on the quiz itself, if that makes sense. For now, not saying no, but yeah. It's gonna be a bit more complex to get. Yeah, I see that. Oh, yeah. So we had a confidence rating at some point, but I removed it. But we did have that, yes. We did have that. I'm trying to see if we could. The thing that pisses me off is in like Duolingo or other platforms that have like the Anki method, is the staggered next. As in, if I'm here and I know the answer, I want to be able to just fly through the entire thing until I end up with the end of the quiz. And I haven't been stopped at any point because I know everything. And when I don't know, I'm gonna struggle to find things. Therefore, I'm like, okay, so this maybe I do know, and I think it's cut, and it's telling me, oh shit, no, you made a mistake. Cool. So moving on to the next one, and I'm like, this looks like something that I know, but I'm unsure. Maybe it's la, and I'm like, oh cool, it was a la. So there is no like hint that says, oh, you did a good job right there. It's that's the good thing. If you guess right, it moves on, and your brain, at least mine, because it's made for me in the beginning, after like 6 to 7 times seeing the same thing, I'm gonna be okay with it. And if it's a mistake, if I guessed right once, and then the next time I'm like, oh, that's probably no, and it's not no, it's not gonna count this one, and I'm gonna have a bit of a reinforcement of, oh no, you made a mistake. The first one was like kind of a guess, cool, and yeah. So I just don't want to be stopped when I'm going through the quiz, because I can do that, and like as you can see, I got everything wrong by just clicking on the bottom right corner, and I didn't learn anything. Therefore, these don't count, and they haven't been highlighted in there. So there's that. But yeah, I think it's also, I mean, specifically, um, the kana section, which is hiragana and katakana separately. To me, you kind of need to know them when you arrive on the app, and it's mostly gonna be like some sort of a retraining for the people that don't know. But I'm kind of betting on the fact that if you are interested in learning Japanese, you already have seen hiragana and katakana, and you kind of have that understanding. But I'm probably wrong. So I think the last logic that I added was basically the entries for any type. So kana, katakana, hiragana, radicals, kanjis, all of that. They take chunks. So they load the quizzes based on the first 25 to 50 characters that they have in the source material. So that's why when you're doing the kanji one, sometimes you have something that are absolutely at the opposite spectrum of the complexity, but that's because the JSON file is not ordered. Not yet. Later, maybe. I don't know. Fine. Have a good look. But that's the thing. We are sprinkling 25 to 50 characters in the quiz in the order in which they come in the JSON files. And then if you master it, you see it less. And if you, like, we are seeing the one that haven't been seen yet, and then it's a range of importance by the one that you haven't seen yet first, followed by the one that you have seen sometimes, followed by the one that you have mastered not often or not that often. The thing is, for me specifically, the 25 option is basically ensuring that I can fly through all of that and just answer as, not as fast as I can, but like as much as I can to check and get the views in a state that make me see how it looks when you are at the everything is mastered situation. If that makes sense. There's a lot of things that I want to implement, as in, for me as a learner and someone that also has like a bit of a dyslexic brain, there are a lot of characters in kana, in hiragana and katakana, that are really similar to me, and I kind of want to ensure that the options are based on that. So he, for example, is he. There is like one that is he, and that's about it. If you look at the kana table, for me, u and tsu are similar. They are not the same, and now I'm fine. But nu and me, if we have me at some point, we don't here. These are like so close together that I'm like, these should be in the options. Like nu, me, no, these three should be in the option when we are asking, I don't know, we, for example. Or ro and ru, these are so close together. Same thing. Le and nu, or the other one, ne and le. These two are really, really close. So all of that. Yeah. I know you said that, so I implemented the specific. I really don't like it. Personally, I really think that you should have, or you should learn them at the same time. Because, again, if I'm going here for some reason, and I'm reading this, let's say that this is the ID, I'm reading this. But right now, I can't. Thank you. The amount of characters, designer related articles, of course, that are hiragana, katakana, and kanji in a sentence is not 30, 30, 30, but there is a ton of both. And you need to understand and be able to read like this, like softo, to ensure that when you're reading something, I know that that's for later for you. For now, from what you're saying, but they come in the exact same way and they come at the exact same time. So when you are like kind of trying to read this, you have watashi, so you have the reading in hiragana at the top most of the time, and then you have the kanji underneath. So that's fine. Watashi ga ni 10年、10年一生寮、うん、10年一生寮している会計ソフト。And that is katakana right there. That is katakana right here. And all of that is most of the time when I'm looking at design related articles, it is just filled with katakana all the time. And it's a bit of a pain, to be honest. Like the one that I read with my teacher last week is this one from or about studio or studio.design. Everything is just katakana all the time. So here, 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 here is just everything that is a borrowed word from English or other languages is going to be in katakana. So that's why I'm saying you should kinda learn both at the same time. Yeah. I'm still making mistakes on katakana more than on hiragana. Hiragana is really easy to read. So that's why the furigana maker that I have is hiragana on top. On this app. On my iPad, it can be English, like late Latin letters. But yeah, I think like it's really, that's the thing. The thing that my teacher gave me that is pretty cool. Maybe I don't know. Depends on you. Is gonna be this or this channel specifically. They do audiobooks, I guess. I guess I could say that audiobooks. And the voice is pretty cool, and it's fine. You don't necessarily understand everything. Let's be honest on this one. Let me say that again. You don't understand anything, and sometimes you understand some things, which is the opposite. But like the one that I had in class was, God damn it, where you at? Did I pass it? No. Yes? No. Yes? No. I'm gonna go through my history. This one, for example, has the reading at the bottom of the video, and so I can read at the same time and hear the words. The main issue that I have right now in learning, and specifically in learning with the app that I'm building, which is what pisses me off the most. If I'm on this and I'm trying to get like the quiz, I did a 25 quiz. My brain is gonna read shigoto as a default because that's the characters that I know. Where I shouldn't look at that at all, and I should have this only, just the kanjis, with the ability to say, oh, this is shigoto, which means work. Cool. And then here, go, I know that going is iku. But then if I go with iku in hiragana underneath, I'm kind of biasing myself in not being able to read the first character kanji as E. So it's a bit more complicated for me. Like this one, time is going to be jikan or jikan, and it's here, and I know it mainly because the right character is the character that we're using for the app as a name and an icon. But the reading is like not helping me personally. I think what I need is basically what we have on Genki 3 website. If you haven't seen it. Yeah, I mean, I think the way that Quizlet does it is a pretty good thing, as in you have bitch. As in you have your characters, or you should have your characters. I disable this bitch again. You have your kanjis here. You can listen to them if necessary. And maybe I don't know what that is. I think this is Kaishain. If I click on the card, it flips, and then I have Kaishain in hiragana. But I'm focused on that. So I think this is what I'm gonna do. I discovered this one with my teacher yesterday. So new stuff. So I'm probably gonna have that on tap on the character to learn, or on the option. That's gonna be not a thing. I think on the option is gonna be too complex to have like a tap to reveal, to flip. But yeah, I think that's the concept that I'm gonna have, because it makes sense. Like this is atarashi, therefore I don't need to, or anymore, I don't need to click on it to see what it is. And then here, this is Shimbun, so that's fine. I get that. Kiku, I get that. This one, I don't know. Therefore, I'm just gonna Tsukuru. Cool. What the fuck is Tsukuru? I don't know. And then moving on. Yeah. So here, I could 100% have this card based on the design that I have made and all that to flip if necessary. For the option, this is a bit more complex. So the initial idea that I had was to lower even more the font size. So ensuring that if you really want to read that, you need to focus on the fucking screen. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet. Yeah, I know. That was the initial plan to be very readable, but now I think it's still readable. I need less. Omino, hi, welcome on in. How are you? So yeah, I'm thinking about that as an option. It's probably gonna help a lot. Again, sorry, that. Yeah, I mean, right now it is needed for me. This, if you haven't used it, highly recommend it as well. The Quizlet is kind of shit. Let me say that now. But yeah. Do you have Figma knowledge, Amino? As in As in, have you mastered Figma yet? Not yet? Maybe? Based on your answer on that, I'm gonna point you in a direction. I have 2 directions, basically. There are only 2 options. 3. Depends. Depends on how much flexibility you want. But you have Wix Editor X, which is pretty good. You have Webflow and Framer. These are the 3 that are the most flexible, good for designers, no-code platforms. Wix Editor X is a bit more, not Wix Editor X, which is their Webflow competitor, which is a bit better than Wix on its own. But yeah, it is limited. I'm gonna say that. But they did a very good job in the marketing videos, so I like it. Webflow is a nightmare for me, but if you don't have any code knowledge, Webflow is amazing. If you do, Webflow is a nightmare. If you have Figma knowledge and you understand how it works, a Framer is great. Figma old interface. Yeah. So if you have some Figma knowledge, I would highly recommend Framer. For me, Framer is really Figma. Old version of Figma, but it is mostly Figma. And it has some things that are better than Figma in terms of ensuring responsiveness of things. Like this entire build is gonna be how things work. So if I put that on the side, then it moves here on the side. Like it's really working in the same way. And you really have access to everything in no time. So if I'm changing something from here to a different color, it will change everywhere. All of that, like, to me, makes a lot of sense. And it really works like Figma when it comes to selecting something. The inspector is the same, the layer list is the same-ish. The difference is that you don't do rectangles, you do frames, and you don't do artboards, you do frames. But yeah, Webflow is great. Okay, I'm gonna still say that because Webflow does have a ton of highly beneficial things, but it's just that much too close to code. There are so many things in there that should be easy to do. As in, if I go into some of my old websites, we have spent full-on streams trying to figure out how to get some things to flex out in the right way. And we couldn't. And then we figured it out. And then we good. But like, this entire thing was such a nightmare to do. Yeah. To just make it make sense and to make it work in like Webflow directly and all that. Also, this entire thing is just broken now. This is a Framer, for example. This is a different type of design. I could have done that in Webflow as well, but it's just oh yeah, I kind of disagree with that, Chris. I mean, for me, this is my website in Framer, and I don't think it is more prototypey than prod. I feel like it kind of works. I mean, all of my websites are in Framer right now. I don't know. It feels like it makes sense. That's a bright ass red. It looks amazing on my Android phone in terms of color. It looks like shit on my Windows screen, and it looks okay on my Mac. That's crazy. Anywho, yeah, no. Overall, I personally prefer Framer just because I'm used to it, and it's just more natural for me to just navigate through that. But it has its limitation, and meh. Other than that, yeah. Um, Jerome, I think I would have, for devs, again, going back to what we said on Monday, having some code result side by side type of thing. I have a feeling that this is a pretty good thing for dev personal website, and also have some like finished product that you've worked on if you have access to that, if that's an option. But yeah, let me know if you have any question about Framer at any point when you're starting things. Don't hesitate to ask. I can help to a degree in Framer. I need to go back to it to do the website for the app, but yeah, I'm just lazy right now. I'm procrastinating hard. I don't think I would, Chris, going back to your question and then going back to Jerome answers. Brain, please. Train of thoughts. I don't think I would ever go to Drupal, Craft, and other things. I think like right now I'm thinking about building the website directly in HTML, CSS, JS, Svelte, React, whatever. But yeah, I still feel like it's going to be easier for me to do it in Framer than doing it in code, but yeah. Yeah, I think that's yeah. I mean, again, I'm gonna go back to this. If you remove the 3D skulls at the top, which is coming from Spline, this entire website is extremely simple. You have a title, button bar things with links, and then button bar things with videos or projects, right? That's about it, right? And building that in code is gonna take me maybe a day to reach the same level of like details and shit, but it's maybe a day. This is 4 hours. This entire thing was made in 4 hours, and 3 hours of these 4 hours were trying to figure out the fucking scores in Spline. So, time-wise, it's faster, right? But then you go to this one, for example, 30 minutes, done. And all of these things have links. If you click on it, it goes to the link in question, things that I've worked on, and yeah, it works, doesn't work, it depends, all of these things. But it's a basic website. I don't need like an infrastructure and something for that. So, yeah. Well, yeah, it's the same thing. Like you create the subcomponents immediately. Kinda.
Mom?
Like that. I think for landing pages, again, this one has been same thing. It is a Framer website, and it's the mom website. I just shared in the chat, kinda, not really, ish. And this is made in Framer. It has like interactive elements here and there, just for the fun of it. Not that it matters, but it's just, we have things, and that's it. And it's just simple, it works, and done. Yeah, everything is Framer. Like this entire thing is made in Framer. Yes. So if I needed like a component, it's made in Framer. It is I always forget.
Wait.
Do I not have access to it? Sorry for the flashbang. It's supposed to be in there, but it's not, obviously. This is pissing me off so much. I'm supposed to have access to the team that I built the website with, and I don't. And that is bad. And I don't care. So I don't have access to the website. Cool. But yeah, all of the things are basically components. I think I can go in this one to show you how it works, for example. The elements, the assets that I have, as in this element that is a component, has all of the interaction set up. So if I start the thing, if I'm hovering this, it just shows that element or that one or that one. So it's a very simple thing, and that's about it. It has a bit of a glitchy effect when you are close to the edges. That is mostly like a neon sign glitch. And that's a bit of an ID, right? And that's a component. It's just different states, different things, and we good. When I'm going into this one, for example, it has the main component. We also have the page elements, and the page is the exact same thing. If I'm hovering the whole thing, it's gonna highlight the stars, all of that. They're a bit different from page to pages. But yeah, that's about it. So if I'm hovering things, it's just simple. And this was the link. So yeah, but it's basically just creating a component in Framer, defining its states. Most of the states are going to be hover and other things if necessary, but that's about it. So yeah, I didn't know I was giving out 20% off for the French. I think I need to disable that and make the French pay full price. God damn. Also, it says add off your subscription at checkout. You don't have a subscription. I haven't touched this thing in a year, if not more. So yeah, going back to the question, I would highly recommend Framer because it's the easiest to grasp if you have a bit of an understanding of how Figma works. And yeah, other than that, that's the base thing. And Jerome, for the portfolio thing, I think we can take a look at Lapa for reference check, or Maxi maybe. Why did I go back to the initial states? Anyways, Lapa is usually my reference because you have portfolios and other things, including portfolios that are mostly for devs. The black portfolios are, usually what happens, but regular portfolio things, there is a ton of devs in there and you can recognize the devs really often. Welcome back to it. Like this is a dev. that is a dev, and you can tell it's a dev because of the way that it is. But like this is one of the references you can have for someone dev that's it's probably a designer-ish potential. I don't know. That is probably a dev with design taste. Yeah. I think this one is a dev-ish type of thing. Yeah. Design engineer type of situation. So again, the current states of things is this. You have elements that are organic to showcase that the thing that has been created is human made. And this is the design pattern that I'm seeing, that I've been seeing for the past 6 to 12 months, like 6 months to a year. These elements underline the fact that the elements in the view are not necessarily straight and aligned to the grids. All of that is kind of the idea. And then these things that have like tiny effects, interactions, all of that is the current state of website. Is it good? It depends. You decide. But that's a dev-ish type of thing. Yep, it's a waste of time. I agree. I agree. But yeah, Lapa is going to be pretty cool and pretty useful. I think Max Best Off is also a pretty good one. Dapshi, welcome back. And you can use that as a base reference because it's pretty good, you know. No, I know you were here. You haven't said shit all day. It's the only second time that I have to do some pull-ups today, so appreciate it. Again, it depends. A portfolio is really complex and really simple at the same time, as in based on what you're trying to achieve in terms of work and or the type of people that you want to have interested in you. Maybe this is okay. Maybe this is a good website for the type of people that you want to represent or be or anything. And like the whole navigation bar is pretty impressive. What? Is it good? I don't know. There is so many, to be honest, that that work and would always work. Like the one that we have, which is Atakan. I don't know if it's this one. I guess this one. Nope. This is more for designer. You need to pay to be able to self-host, Chris, because you can't really extract the code if you're not paying for a plan. Or maybe they changed that. If they change that, that's cool. But yeah, this is a more designery overall monthly, yeah. I mean, you can pay 4 months to extract the code, but if you need to make some changes, you need to repay 4 months to extract the code again, which is kind of shit. But I might be wrong. It might be the old version, which would be good. But this is like more for designer-ish type of portfolio. This one is more for designer engineer type of portfolio. So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, who you're trying to attract, and at the end of the day, for portfolio, you will have pictures, text, backgrounds, and project potentially. And for dev website, I would highly recommend you to get some sort of a really like result code type of situation. The same thing that I shared where you at? That for me is that thing on the side is the best representation, the best option that you can have as a dev. You have, I did this thing. It's this, cool, it works, it has the effect that I needed to have with the holographic effect. And then you have the code. And if you wanted to read the code and understand how it works and what it is, cool. Hiring managers are going to look at this and say, oh, that's impressive. Hiring dev are going to look at the code and say, oh, this bitch is using AI to create this thing. That's me. I'm the bitch. Right there. But, you know, I feel like this preview is the best that you can have as a dev. so that you can have a comparison, and the people that know will know and see things. So also, again, if you have one of these and it's active and you have a ton of things and it proves your activity and you have open public repos, then that's good. That's gonna be, I think, all you need. The amount of people that I'm seeing, like Scriptin, for example, that I'm referencing in bit, where you in? This one, for example, which I'm using some of his repos for the app because he has done some tremendous work on reorganizing kanjis and other things. You have this, you have face, website if necessary, but description, and then repos and activities, which is really fun to see what he's doing. There is a one commit on Mondays every time. That's probably a bot, but you know, it's fun. It's a nice overall thing. You have the base, you know how many times he received like a star, how many people follow him, which I should, and all that. So again, for dev-centric portfolio, I really think that just a GitHub is enough. And if you make your GitHub a bit more fancy, then you're good. But if you are looking for dev design-ish type of thing, then yes, you need like a better website. Maybe. Oh yeah. Yep, that's a miss. Also the thing lagged. So I think my computer is lagging right now. Which is bad. Bad. But yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Yeah, it was just lagging. The peach was lagging. Lagging. Eh. 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 So yeah, other than that, for portfolio, I feel like this is for dev. I mean, it also depends on what you like. Who is going to see the site? Like, if you are sending this to a hiring manager, they might not understand what it is, how it works, and be confused. And they are expecting like a portfolio. Maybe they are dev and they know exactly how it works, and it's impressive for them. I don't know. It is. I mean, it is one of the reasons why I hate portfolio in general, and why I don't really have one. Because it is shit. The portfolio is shit. It's just yeah. To me, it's a very good representation of how outdated I can be. Everything that is on the portfolio right now on my website is videos that date from July from last year, and there hasn't been new content in there since. So yeah, Yeah. We're talking about Jerome portfolio potential. Like right now, he's just asking what is the content of a portfolio specifically for dev portfolio. And as I was saying, mostly code design, like, or code results type of thing. But my brain just made a connection again, Jerome. I think you told me that you were mostly into security at some point and not really a front end person. I mean, you kind of are, but you kind of like security, I think. Why do I have that in my head? I don't know. Ah, is different. But yeah, if that's a different thing, like if you're not someone that does visual stuff, um, I don't know. Yeah, I think Big Sur was oh, for fuck's sake. That bitch right there. um had at some point, I don't know what he's posting, but he recreated the entirety of uh, the entirety of macOS as a preview, as an ID, and he has like a React macOS environment that has the dock, the terminal, File Explorer, all of these that you can access through like your browser. And so that's an impressive thing to do as a dev, but it has no use. It's just the flex. It is 100% the same as this for me. My Figma profile is my flex to the design community. And it's just, you open this and you like, oh, okay. Okay. Like it's two images. Cool. One of them is made in Figma. Okay. That's the flex. That's it. So if in your realm there are some thing that you can flex the same way that are impressive in any yeah in any like crowds, I think it's gonna be helpful. Like one of the reasons why I'm doing the app, it's kind of the same thing. uh, it's a bit of a flex-ish. Like, okay, I've built an app. I don't know much, but um, but I did an app. So, you know, fun stuff. Ish. But overall, yeah, that's kind of the idea. If you find something that is flexible and that is just showing people, okay, you can do that in X tool, Figma, right there. Okay, impressive. I do remember Johei that we talked about not yesterday, but like 2 days ago. Joey H, Joe H, Joe H, Joe what? I forgot. I have liked one of the posts not so long ago. What is that thing? Where is that thing? We talked about him on Monday. I like way too many stuff. Way too much things. There, right there. GH. Not Joey. Che. That's a good thing. For me. Like, that. I don't know if that website is good. It seems to be some sort of a Twitter feed thing. But what is impressive to me is what is posted in here. Every time there is like a video presentation of something that is kind of impressive for me. Like I'm seeing this, and then I don't know how it's made. I don't know how it works. The only thing that I know is that it's just that's cool. And yeah, so that's the flex. And then you have the how it works here. So you have the card pen, and if it works, it works. If you know. But yeah, make something technically cool for devs is going to be much better than make something technically impressive visually as a designer. Like personally, I have two things. I have impressive skills in terms of recreating physical elements, and I have impressive speed. These are the two things that I have. So when I decided to combine them in the beginning of my Twitter posting thing, I did 25 minutes warm-ups of papers, and I'm really doing back and forth right now. But I basically just decided to go through these and do small, short videos of how things work, how do I do these, and it's just 1 minute, 2 minutes video of an overall 17-minute project, and that showcase speed and technical skills, and that's it. Because I got tired. I got tired, and the last one that I did that was really cool was this one. This one took a bit longer than expected, and also I didn't find more. I only had these, and I was kind of done after. But yeah, just playing with that, it's just fun. Yeah. Impressive. Useless, but impressive. But that's the idea. Like that's, I did that, and then in the middle of these, I added these. Like sneak peek of that. I'm also doing some UI stuff. And when you compare them, it kind of looks like shit. And same thing. Impressive. Eh. I don't know. Yeah. I guess I just got tired. Also feels uninteresting as a post type. If you can. If you have saved up enough, yeah. I'm gonna go to Jonathan. Have a good rest of your day. Take care of yourself. All day. Are you gonna miss the target? Yeah, it is laggy. It is laggy. Who do we want to go to? That is the question. That is the question. I guess I'm gonna send you to Vash unless she's eating. She has no cam lately, which is kind of sad. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm debating. Because it's 2. And also she's playing games. Sorry, she's getting killed. Yeah, I mean, if you stay, you get the points. Anyways, I pressed the button. I'm gonna go see cat. As always, the VOD is gonna be saved on YouTube because it's easier to get that. And then you're gonna have the Discord if you have questions and I'm not live, which happens often. And yeah, you can stalk me online or also come back here on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Paris time. All that. As always, I said a lot of things. If you want to give me money, you can. You can also give me some cheers. I appreciate that. It doesn't happen often. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you want to give me money,
Darren Van Wysen cheered Dex 1000, your own 7 wahoo.
Wahoo. Wahoo. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Katakana is a Japanese language. I think I'm running out of time. Anyways, thanks a lot for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Eat something, drink something. Be kind to each other. You know the drill. Bye.